to take what it is that he's gifted you with. God has put a menu, a recipe, a secret recipe in your bosom, bro, in your spirit. But he needs you to wake it up. And the only way that you can experience that is you got to start allowing God to cook in your life. You got to get in that kitchen and allow God to expose to you those many seasons and those flavors in your life, the things that you can do and grow into. You could become a chef from the chef. By allowing God to cook and being a vessel, the more that you become centered with your purpose, aligned with your purpose, chasing your goals and your dreams. See, now you become a vessel, and now God can use you. Now God can use you. And now you can transfer those recipes into your life, and you can add your flavors, because again, you was here to create also. You can put your spin on it. God is like, I want you to take the base ingredients that I have, but I created you to be your own person, your own identity. I've given you your own ability to add your own twist and flavors on what it is that I want you here to do to fulfill your life purpose. My reason for putting you on this earth. My reason to make you different than everyone else and give everybody a unique ability to do something different that serves me. A lot of us are not where we want to be because we're not allowing God to cook in our life. Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, I encourage you to let God cook. Let God cook in your life. I remember growing up, like after graduating high school, hanging out all the time. And, reality is, back then they didn't have DoorDash. They didn't have, Uber Eats. They didn't have it where you can actually have food delivered to your house. You actually had to get up and go out and get your food yourself. So shout out to nowadays. They make it pretty convenient for you to actually have food delivered to you. But let me lock in on the purpose of my video. But back then you had to actually eat out, especially if you was into going out all the time, going to the clubs, or if you was a college student, you already know you ordering pizza, you having food. Now they did deliver pizza, but I think that was pretty much all you could actually have delivered to you, pizza and Chinese food. But anyway, so back then you pretty much, man, had to rely on just ordering. Like if you didn't cook yourself, you would order out all the time. And of course, when it comes to ordering out, a lot of the times you are pretty much limited to the food that's actually in your neighborhood. And especially when you want things convenient, of course, you're going to go to your local McDonald's. You're going to go to your local Chinese spot. You're going to go to your local pizza spot. And, so your options is pretty limited when it comes to the things that you want, especially when you want something fast and quick. So with that said, I remember eating the same type of food all the time. Granted that I didn't really cook like that at that time in my life. So all I knew really was McDonald's. All I knew was pizza. And my go-to favorite meal was chicken fingers and fries. If I went to a restaurant, all I went and ordered was chicken fingers and fries. Chicken fingers and fries all the time. That was my go-to meal. Good as I don't know what, right? I mean, why not? Hella non-nutritious though, the more that I think about it. But that's really all I knew. And it wasn't until later on in life when I actually met my wife, when we first started dating, right? We started going out to eat. And we would go to different restaurants. And mind you, my palate when it came to really understanding food in general was limited to the things that I was accustomed to eating, and the things that I was accustomed to eating, yeah, they were good, but at the same time, that's really all I knew. So whenever we went to restaurants, I may choose a restaurant, or for the most part, she knew of like the restaurants that actually had a higher palate when it comes to the range of foods that they actually have, on the menu. But whenever we went out, right, I was closed-minded to anything other than what I was familiar with. Stay with me. I was closed-minded to anything other than I only really had in my life. I only really tried, which was, again, if it wasn't pizza, if it wasn't burgers, if it wasn't fries, still some of my favorite cheat meals these days. It was, once again, especially we were going to a gourmet spot. I don't know why I always associated going to a gourmet spot and I would have to get chicken fingers and French fries. Was it good? Yeah, but that was really all I knew at the time. So anyway, we're out, we're eating, and every time we went to get something, she would always order something completely different. Every time we went, she would get something completely different, and something completely different than what I would have ever thought to try. Something that I thought was nasty, just the sound of it. You may laugh now, or you may look at me like I was tripping, but the reality is, I grew up in a confined area where I wasn't exposed to like pasta. I wasn't exposed to like lobster pasta. Like I couldn't even afford it at the time. But anyway, so we're every time we went out to dine out, you know, she would be like, "Why do you always only order the same thing? I mean, I get it, chicken tenders and fries are good, but at the same time, you should expand your horizon and try different things." And it wasn't until like maybe 10 times after we done went out, I said, you know what? Let me give it a try. Let me see what the chef had to cook that I've never tried, that I'm missing out on, that she's saying is good. Let me give it a try, right? So I think it started with me trying her food. And then I think she ordered like lobster linguine or lobster pasta or shrimp pasta, shrimp crab Alfredo, something like that. That was her go-to meal. And at the time, it didn't make sense to me. I was like, nah, I'm sticking to my guns. Give me a hot dog. Give me chicken wings, or should I say chicken tenders and fries. But she let me try her food, and it was like a whole new world opened up, bro. It was like I was exposed to a whole new world, and I was like, this low-key slap. This is low-key fire. And so the next time I went and actually ordered my own pasta. And so I ordered, I think it was shrimp and crab Alfredo. So the next time we went out to eat, I ordered shrimp and crab Alfredo, something that I've never had. Something that the chef always would provide as an option, something that was more expanded, something that was more elegant, something that was way more flavorful, something that was way more flavorful to the taste buds, more expensive, as opposed to, sticking to the hand the finger foods that I had. So I ordered it, and again, it was like entering into a whole new world, a whole new dimension. I felt like, I'm up here with the people with the silver forks, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to the finger foods. And so I'm eating it, and I'm like, bro, how long did this type of food exist? That should just let you know, like, literally how I've been eating. But I'm like, how long have this food existed? And my wife was like, I've been trying to tell you. I've been trying to put you on game. This food been out here. It been existed. You just been missing out. Hear me clear. You just have been missing out all your life. You've been missing out on really being able to expand on different palates, different types of food. So I'm like, man, let the chef cook. You know what I mean? This is really there's much more to the menu than just the little bit of food that I think is good. Let the chef cook. Let's let the chef cook, right? So now I'm wanting to learn more about what the chef got to offer. I'm looking at the menu. I'm looking at different pastas. I'm looking at different things, expanding my horizons, and I'm realizing that there's so much more. There's so much more that the chef is able to do. All I had to do was think outside of the box and give the chef a try. Give what he's good at a try, right? And so now I'm at the position where not only did I realize that there's other foods out here that taste pretty good, now I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, not only do I want to, go out and experience different types of taste different foods, different cultures, Indian food, Jamaican food. Not only do I want to try it when I go out to the restaurants, I want to actually learn how to cook it up myself and whip it up myself and learn from what the chef, the creator, has already done himself. I want to figure out how I can take from the creator and create myself. Make my own version of, curry chicken, my own version of jerk pasta, you know what I'm saying? My own version of jerk salmon, my own version of different types of foods that I've never tried because I stayed in a confined way of thinking because of being in the environment, not wanting to expand my horizon, not wanting to expand and explore what's out there, what's on the menu. So now I'm at a point where, I'm buying recipe books, cookbooks, And I'm learning, you know what I'm saying? I'm going by the cookbooks and I'm learning. Next thing you know, now, not only have I grown from a point of just chicken fingers and fries and going to the restaurant, stepping it up a little bit more. Now I'm at a point in my life where I now know how to actually lock in the kitchen. I know how to actually cook. That's the reason why we're doing this video in the kitchen. The natural lighting, of course, is another reason. But anyway, now I know how to cook. So from then, thinking like that, only allowing myself to eat that much, to going to the chef, expanding my taste buds, expanding my opportunity to be able to know what other flavors taste like, what the chef can actually cook, to where now I've learned from the chef and now I'm actually cooking myself. I am considered a chef. My family even calls me the chef of the family because I allowed the chef to cook. And when it comes to the spiritual realm, bro, now we're getting into the meat of this video. The meat of this video. When it comes to life, when it comes to the spiritual sense of it, sometimes we're not really growing spiritually because we're not allowing God to cook in our life, because of our limited thinking, because of our limited beliefs, because of the way that we are accustomed to practicing the same small habits every single day, not allowing God to season our lives, to season our purpose, to season our vision. It's already there. You want to expand. You want to expand upon your horizon. You have a whole vision of wanting more. But because you're accustomed, or because of fear of actually jumping out of the box and trying something different and putting yourself in a position where it's uncomfortable and doing something that's uncomfortable, that's actually going to elevate your life. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fear, because of whatever it is that's holding you back from experiencing what God has to offer in your life, we're staying in that small box of only consuming chicken fingers and fries, television in bed, going to work, paying a bill, and going to bed, flipping channels all day, as opposed to chasing your purpose, as opposed to allowing God to groom you and grow you up in your purpose, to elevate you in your purpose, to take what it is that He's gifted you with. God has put a menu, a recipe, a secret recipe in your bosom, bro, in your spirit. But He needs you to wake it up. And the only way that you can experience that is you got to start allowing God to cook in your life. You got to get in that kitchen and allow God to expose to you those many seasons and those flavors in your life, the things that you can do and grow into. You could become a chef from the chef. By allowing God to cook and being a vessel, the more that you become centered with your purpose, aligned with your purpose, chasing your goals and your dreams, see, now you become a vessel, and now God can use you. Now God can use you. And now you can transfer those recipes into your life, and you can add your flavors, because again, you was here to create also. You can put your spin on it. God is like, I want you to take the base ingredients that I have, but I created you to be your own person, your own identity. I've given you your own ability to add your own twist and flavors on what it is that I want you here to do to fulfill your life purpose. My reason for putting you on this earth. My reason to make you different than everyone else and give everybody a unique ability to do something different that serves me. A lot of us are not where we want to be because we're not allowing God to cook in our life, because of our limited thinking. Us putting a cap, not allowing God to actually reach into your kitchen, bro, and work with you, work within you. I want to encourage you to not go your whole life, living your whole life on a limited recipe, on a limited set of ingredients, without experiencing God's fulfillment, without being fulfilled, without living your full life, experiencing life, the purpose that God got you here. I want you to know that God got you here for more than just only eating chicken fingers and fries. He has a whole menu out here. Different cultures of food, different cultures, different things that He wants for your life, so to speak. Different reasons why He have you here on this earth, other than just to go to work and come home and flip a channel and go to bed. You feel what I'm saying? He want to actually use you. He want to cook in your life. He want to show you what your actual purpose is in your life. He want to show you your creative abilities. And He wants you to use those creative abilities to expand further in life, to maximize your life. You feel what I'm saying? He want to use you. He want to cook in your life. And it can't happen if you're not allowing God to cook in your life. Let God cook. Let God cook. The more that you live in purpose, watch how expansion happens in your life. The more that you live in purpose, watch how much more flavor comes into your life. The more that you live in purpose, on purpose, watch how much more seasoned you become in your life. Watch how much better life tastes when you let God cook in your life. You gotta let God cook in your life, man. You gotta let it happen. I encourage you to not go your whole life not knowing what it's like to enjoy and experience seafood pasta. I'm trying to tell you. I want you to know how good seafood pasta tastes, bro. So to speak, in the spiritual world, I want you to know how much more God has for you in your life. How much more he want to use you in your life. How much you can actually delve into your creative genius, the creative genius that lies within, and expand on that. Allow God to use you, become a vessel, and realize, like, surprise yourself. You'll actually surprise yourself the more that you allow God to cook in your life. He's going to expose you to your greatness. He's going to point you to your greatness, direct you to your greatness, redirect you from thinking small to thinking big, thinking outside of the box, to being a person who's on your purpose, realizing, gee whiz, I didn't know the menu was that impressive. I didn't know it was that much more to my life. Like, I knew I had a purpose for my life, but I didn't know it was that much more. Yeah. Get into that menu, that word, that Bible, on your knees, talking to God every single day, and watch how the ingredients start to come. Watch how he start to pour into your life. Watch how the recipes come together like that gumbo. And just allow God to keep stirring that gift up inside you. Keep allowing God to cook in your life. And just watch how much more you thrive in life when you let God cook. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post bell notification. That way you guys will not miss any of my content. I encourage you to let God cook. I appreciate all my day ones, my in-betweens, my as of nows. And of course, we're manifesting future supporters. So I appreciate you guys also. As always, do what brings life to you. And it's a great chance that you'll bring life to whatever it is that you do. You already know, rain, sleet, or snow. The goal is to #grow. Let God cook.